Your phone slips before your brain can react. 1 second it is in your hand. The next, it is spinning toward the floor, hitting the ground with that small, sharp sound every phone owner knows too well. You pick it up, turn it over, and prepare for the spiderweb crack. But sometimes, nothing happens. The screen is still clear. Somehow, it survived. That is where Gorilla Glass comes in. Not as a magic shield, but as a quiet piece of engineering designed to give your screen a better chance. The real story is how a thin sheet of glass learned to make cracks work harder before they spread. Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. Glass is strong until it isn't. Glass gives us a strange kind of confidence. It feels hard. It looks clean. Compared with plastic, it resists scratches better and gives a phone that smooth, premium feeling under your finger. But glass has a weakness hiding inside all that elegance. It is brittle. It can handle some force well, but it hates sudden impact focused on one tiny spot. A flat push across the surface might be fine. A sharp hit on the corner can be different. Once a small crack begins, it can race through the glass like a tear across frozen lake ice. That is why phone drops feel so unpredictable. Height matters, but not alone. The angle matters. The floor matters. The exact point of impact matters. Even the phone's frame can change how the force travels, so the same phone can survive several harmless drops, then crack because it landed on the wrong point at the wrong angle. Instead of asking, how do we make glass impossible to break? Engineers asked a smarter question. How do we make cracks harder to start? The trick is hidden inside the surface. The secret of Gorilla Glass is not something you can see from the outside. At its core, it is a kind of aluminosilicate glass made mostly from silicon, oxygen, and aluminum. That sounds technical, but the important part is simple. The glass is built to stay strong, clear, and thin enough for a phone screen. Still, the ingredients are only the beginning. The real trick happens during a process called ion exchange. Imagine the glass being placed into a bath of hot molten salt. Inside the surface are tiny charged particles called ions. During this bath, some smaller ions near the surface are swapped out for larger ones. Those larger ions squeeze into spaces that used to hold smaller ions. They do not fit comfortably, so the surface becomes packed and pressed inward from all sides. In other words, the outside of the glass is put under compression. Think of it like an invisible grip holding the surface tightly shut. When a crack tries to open, that compressed layer pushes back. It makes the first crack harder to start and harder to spread. That invisible pressure is why a sheet of glass thinner than a credit card can survive more chaos than it looks capable of handling. Why not just use plastic? At this point you might wonder, if glass can crack, why not just use plastic? Plastic has one obvious advantage. It is much harder to shatter. Drop it, bend it, press it, and it usually survives better than ordinary glass. But plastic brings a different problem. Scratches. Put a plastic screen in the same pocket as your keys, dust, or a few grains of sand, and the damage begins quietly. After weeks of use, the surface can look cloudy and worn. Your finger no longer glides across a clean surface. It drags across tiny scars. Regular glass solves some of that. It is clear, smooth, and beautiful. But ordinary glass is brittle. One unlucky impact near an edge can turn a clean screen into a spider web. Gorilla Glass tries to live between those two worlds. It needs to stay clear like glass, resist scratches better than plastic, survive impact better than normal glass, remain thin enough to keep the phone light, and still respond instantly when you tap or swipe. That is the real challenge. A phone screen does not only need to be hard to break, it has to solve many problems at once. What happens during a drop? Now imagine the fall again, but slower. The phone leaves your hand, it turns in the air. Then one edge, one corner, or one patch of glass meets the ground first. In that instant, impact energy does not spread out politely. It travels through the phone's body, frame, and screen. If that force lands across a broad, flat area, the glass may survive. If it concentrates on a tiny point, a crack has a place to begin. This is where the compressed surface matters. When the impact tries to pull the glass open, that outer layer pushes back. Gorilla Glass does not cancel impact. It buys time. It gives the glass a better chance before one tiny crack becomes a spider web. But real drops are messy. Carpet is not concrete. Wood, tile, pavement, and rough stone all punish glass differently. A flat landing is different from hitting a sharp edge. A strong frame can spread force. A case can protect the corners. Luck matters too. That is why one phone can survive a dramatic drop, while another cracks from a short fall beside your bed. But this glass did not begin as a smartphone invention. Its story started decades before the first iPhone. The old invention that waited for the right moment. Long before Gorilla Glass became part of the smartphone world, Corning was already experimenting with tougher glass. In the 1960s, the company developed ChemCore, a chemically strengthened glass made for demanding industrial and military uses. The idea was impressive: glass that could be thinner, lighter, and tougher than people expected. The problem was not the idea. The problem was timing. ChemCore was useful, but the world did not yet have billions of pocket-sized screens waiting to be protected. For years, it stayed more like a sleeping technology than a global product. Then smartphones changed the problem. Around 2006, Apple was preparing the first iPhone and needed something better than plastic. Steve Jobs did not want a screen that would quickly collect scratches on a device people would touch, swipe, and carry all day. Corning revisited its old glass strengthening knowledge, refined it, and Gorilla Glass entered the story. Some inventions do not disappear because they are useless. They wait because the world has not caught up yet. Once smartphones became objects we touched, carried, dropped, and stared at all day, glass suddenly had a much harder job. The generations. Less catalog, more evolution. From there, Gorilla Glass kept changing, but the story is not just a list of version numbers. The first Gorilla Glass helped bring chemically strengthened glass into the smartphone era. After that, each generation had to solve a slightly different problem. Phones were getting thinner, screens were getting larger, and edges were getting narrower. Some versions focused on becoming thinner while keeping optical clarity. Gorilla Glass 5 and 6 pushed harder on drop performance because real phones do not live in lab trays. They fall from pockets, tables, beds, and hands. Then came Victus, which tried to improve both scratch resistance and drop protection. Victus 2 paid more attention to rough surfaces like concrete, where tiny hardpoints can punish glass quickly. Every generation was not just about making glass stronger, it was about choosing which kind of damage mattered most in real life. Because scratch resistance and drop resistance do not always improve together. A good phone screen is always a balance, not a single number. The detail: your fingers. Notice. There is another detail most people notice only when it fails: fingerprints. Modern phone glass often has a thin coating to reduce oil and smudges. It does not keep your screen perfectly clean, but it helps your finger glide more smoothly and keeps the display easier to wipe. That matters because a phone screen is not just something you look at. It is something you touch hundreds of times a day. Even the smooth swipe on your screen is part of the engineering. Tough does not mean unbreakable. Gorilla Glass can still break. Drop a phone from high enough, land it on a sharp edge, or hit one weak point with enough force, and the screen can crack. That does not mean the glass failed. It means the fall asked more than the material could give. This is why people have such different stories. One person drops a phone onto pavement and walks away lucky. Another drops it from a bedside table and finds a crack across the corner. Both stories can be true because the conditions were not the same. A screen protector and a case still make sense. The protector takes scratches and small surface damage first. The case helps protect corners and edges, where many dangerous impacts begin. The better way to describe Gorilla Glass is simple. It improves the odds without erasing risk. And that might be the best way to appreciate it, not as magic, but as quiet engineering. The future of glass you barely notice. Phones are still changing. Screens fold, curve, stretch closer to the edge, and move on to watches, cars, kiosks, and public touchscreens. So glass has to keep changing too. It needs to become more flexible for foldable devices, cleaner for shared screens, and tougher for rough environments. Flexible glass, antimicrobial glass, and rugged versions are all part of that next challenge. Maybe one day glass will even repair tiny damage by itself. But for now, the magic is quieter. So the next time your phone hits the floor and survives, remember, the glass did not win by being unbreakable. It won by making the crack work harder. So the next time your phone hits the floor and survives, remember, the glass did not win by being unbreakable. It won by making the crack work harder. And if you enjoy discovering the hidden stories behind everyday things, subscribe to Secrets of Simple Things. There is always something simple around you with a surprisingly clever story waiting underneath.